Welcome to Doug in Exile. Shout out to the happy patriots. Today I'm going to talk about a lot of the comments I keep seeing, a growing number of comments by people saying nothing ever happens, no one will be arrested. I believe it is an online movement largely programmed by bots, largely by either QAnon or Democrats. And I don't try and reverse the internet. I'm not trying to stop. You can't stop the internet, but I can explain for my audience why I'm not threatened or nor do I join that talk, though I would make a whole lot of money. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I hope you guys have come here for the truth as best as I can find it. And my voice is still recovering from this weekend, but I had a great vacation. I'm ready to get back to work. So here goes. First up, we're going to address this thing. Here is Mike Benz. He's a big online talent. He says, for the nothing ever happens crowd. So he came up with Trump's federal layoffs. These are the people who Trump has fired. From which category? This biggest line right here, this is the percentage of employees fired on the left. 100% of 10,000 people for working for the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. Now, I'm going to explain to you why each of these are super important and going against the nothing ever happens. It is true that many people don't get arrested, but Trump doesn't have the ability to go out as president and just start arresting people. You guys realize that's not part of the job. So it's a false accusation to say that because Trump becomes president, suddenly people would be arrested. No, Trump becomes the president. He does not suddenly become a policeman who arrests people. His administration may have some of those powers, but again, it is very hard to just walk up and arrest someone in America just because you won an election. Now, this is only 75 employees were fired, but it's 100% of the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Next one down, we have 86% at 1,500 firings of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We're going to go down some of these other agencies. Agency for Global Media, AmeriCorps, the HUD Community Planning and Development, Small Business Administration, Education Department, Federal Deposit Insurance. This is the deep state bureaucracy that all of these firings came from. And they're 100% leftists that were fired. So to me, this is what Trump can do with the presidency, and he's doing better than any other Republican ever has. Therefore, it is not a sign that nothing is happening. Actually, what Trump does have control of, number one, a ton is happening. And if someone tells you nothing is happening, they're lying to you. They just won't show you this. They won't show you what it is happening. Now, you may rather these people get arrested than fired. I'll take fired because the competition isn't between Trump and whatever fantasy people have as something better, which doesn't exist. Whoever would come in and fire these people does not exist and did not happen, and so far has not happened. What you do have to compare Trump to is what would Kamala Harris do with this list, which is expand, probably double the number of people who would have been hired. Probably twice the people that, Trump is firing people. Kamala would have hired and expanded all of those governments. Here's Razor Fist with a happy anniversary from September 1st, that's yesterday, of last year. Breaking new ABC Ipsos polling shows Kamala Harris demolishing Donald Trump by 6 points. Kamala's lead is expanding as Trump's campaign implodes. Let's go. Now, I just want to show you how close, this was fake news, of course, but I hope this helps you imagine that you're not comparing Trump to someone who would have arrested more and gotten more people. No, that's not reality. The comparison must be between Trump and Kamala Harris. Here's Elon Musk. Now, this is I'm going to go into the immigration thing because this also is number one what Trump ran on. Here's Elon Musk with 100%. This is a Doge designer on the gigantic magnet to attract illegal immigrants and have them stay in the country. It's outrageous that taxpayer money is spent on luxury hotels for illegals. This is about the entitlements, both for illegals staying here, which Trump stopped, and the illegals coming in at the border, which Trump 100% stopped. So again, For those who say nothing happens, no one's getting arrested, well, at the very least, Trump cut off the spigot to the fire hose that was bringing people in who should be arrested. Here's Elon Musk.
See, the biggest outcry is from the Democrats who are, they don't want the waste and fraud to be turned off because it is a gigantic magnet to attract illegal immigrants and have them stay in the country. And I mean, you see some of the crazy stuff, like where money from FEMA, which is meant, FEMA is an agency that's meant to take care of Americans in distress. And a bunch of their money was being sent to pay for luxury hotels in New York for illegal immigrants. And that was happening even after the president was elected, and even after he signed an executive order saying that needs to stop. So we actually made sure that that money did stop going, because obviously it's outrageous that American taxpayer money is spent on luxury hotels for illegals. But you have to say, like, why was that being done? It was because the Democrats are trying to import voters, basically.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And that's also why there's no voter ID needed. In fact, in California and New York State, you're not allowed to show voter ID. Doesn't that seem insane?
Insane.
Yeah.
I'd say that as a New Yorker. It's insane.
Yeah. So right now, Trump is trying to reverse that and bring a national voter ID demand for all voting. Big difference. And again, you're trying to say that he's feckless and ineffective, as if he's part of the problem, or even Congress is part of the problem. They are not a arresting body. It's not what they do. It doesn't work that way. So I'm trying to just address the giant online movement. And it was really Mike Benz that made me think about it the most, because I see in the chat, and most of those comments are from bots. Now, what does a bot do? A bot is programmed by a group of individuals, usually paid for by spam money, usually paid for by, it would be a QAnon guy trying to radicalize America, or they're anarchists that are angry that a Republican would be succeeding like Trump, or a Democrat would be upset. And they're going, where can we get the MAGA people to divide my audience? That's what they do. They divide your audiences and get them to argue with each other. Well, the biggest thing that you'll see is suddenly when all of those comments agree and they sound the same, which we see Democrats talk that way too, a bunch of bots will flood your comments with, don't care, no one gets arrested. They'll say, nothing will happen. You know what I mean? Even though I'll show you evidence all day that stuff is happening, but they'll go, nothing will happen. And then what happens is the bots reprogram the mass, the millions of people that watch these shows. And I see them on other shows too. And so many of you, then you'll go, wait a minute, I actually believe nothing is ever going to happen. Well, usually that thinking comes from political culture or from online. People don't come up with it themselves. They look and see the other chats, and that's what they're trying to do. You'll also see the same thing with these porn bots and other spam bots that just flood the comments, and they try and get you to do, say, and think a certain way. Now, Elon Musk is calling out saying immigration is huge, all right? With the Democrat Party, they thought they would be able to take over voting forever, okay? And that's the biggest thing that Trump ran on. And it 100% stopped the immigration. So nothing happened, everything happened. Remember, you have to compare Trump to Kamala Harris on what would have happened. If Kamala Harris won the election, that is a fact and a truth, and the people who are commenting saying nothing will happen are wrong. Everything has changed in the biggest, most significant way possible. And how do I know? Here's Hollywood's Mark Ruffalo. He was in Marvel. He played the Hulk. He says that Elon Musk is a traitor because he used to be an environmentalist and now he supports MAGA.
Elon Musk is such a two-faced turncoat traitor because he was a climate champion and he sold himself out for a buck and some power.
So the climate, he's all about the climate religion. Now, I only want to, again, compare Trump to Kamala Harris. Trump to Kamala Harris, who would have multiplied the climate agenda of turning our businesses over to green companies, which Obama did, Biden did. Trump's the only one to reverse it. And Elon Musk, who used to be, remember he made the electric car, used to be the climate people's darling, and Elon Musk went and funded Trump. And now he's a traitor. Now remember, if Trump lost and Kamala Harris won, it would be all green everything. You would not be able to use a gas stove. You would not be able to use a gas dryer on your washer and dryer, gas heating. It would all be converted to green, solar panels, wind farms. That's what's missing here. And this is the proof. Elon Musk and Trump switched it out. So when you say nothing happened, everything happened. Not nothing, literally everything happened.
Don't follow that guy. That guy doesn't even have his original accent anymore.
Don't follow Elon Musk. Mark Ruffalo has sniffed out his accent has changed.
Yeah, don't follow him. Don't listen to him. We're the ones who we have to believe in. We're the ones who we're waiting for, and we're the ones that have to move forward together.
We believe us. We're Hollywood. And I just want to ask all of you guys, another huge change with Trump. Where's Hollywood? Where's Mark Ruffalo's influence and fame? They've become mocked. They lost culture. I want you to think of what MSNBC and CNN would be doing right now and Hollywood doing right now if Kamala Harris won. They would be hunting my free speech. My channel would be gone, and only their voice would be allowed on X, YouTube, Facebook, if Kamala Harris won. Now, some of you are going, nothing happened because there were no arrests. You're wrong, because I would still be going to jail. Okay. I'm not looking, I want arrests. Believe me, I can totally agree with the sentiment. That's why it has so much power. But the biggest changes of our lives happen, and it continues over the last 6 months, even though you all say nothing happens. I'm telling you, that's a lie. The people who repeat it are lying. Now, you're allowed to say anything you want in my chat. You're allowed to continue with saying there's no arrest, nothing will happen. I love my audience, and I love giving you guys a place to give your opinion, even when it disagrees with me, because it wouldn't be that way if Kamala Harris won. And here's more on the immigration thing, on the climate thing to answer Mark Ruffalo there. Mike Benz, once again, it's wild when you spell it out like this. Look at what Bloomberg wrote. This should terrify all of you. And this is about Mark Ruffalo saying Elon Musk turned his tail, okay, on climate change. Here's Bloomberg. Want to slow climate change? Stop having babies. This is the Democrat Party admitting they are a massive anti-human, anti-baby, anti-family institution. And you're more obsessed with arrests? You know what? I'll take the freedom to have a family and have babies any day over arrests. And this is one of the things that the culture of Trump and Elon Musk have reversed. So want to slow climate change? Stop having babies. Let's go down here in the corner. This is even worse. Only immigrants can reverse America's baby bust. Only immigrants can reverse our lack of babies. Trump stopped that at the border, and you're still calling for you're having your entire population and country replaced, manipulated by politics to number one, create the religion, create a crisis that you have to change the climate, and slow it down and stop this overheating. You want Americans to stop having babies and then import immigrants to replace our babies and our entire population. That's the plan, guys. This was stopped by Trump, halted by at least allowing the illegals to come in and replace us. Day one stopped. And you have to compare what Trump did. Has he done nothing? He has done everything. Guys, once again, I'm making my case. I'm going to keep building because I want to show you what happens here in the UK. And this shows how the left is, again, a counterpoint to what Donald Trump is doing in America is let's compare him apples to apples to another country. Let's compare him to the UK. Probably the UK and probably Canada and Mexico are closest to us in our shape and type, even though they're socialist, they're all socialist institutions now. Largest percentage of my audience outside the United States is the UK and Canada. So we're going to look at this in the UK. The British police will let you raise a pride flag. They'll let you raise a Ukrainian flag and even a Palestinian flag. But if you simply raise an English flag, you will be arrested in Britain. The British This goes into why Trump, some people said, oh, it's so dumb that he made it illegal to fly, to burn an American flag. It's not about flags. Flags are about what they stand for always. And Trump is making an announcement. We're a pro-America, pro-flag country because this kind of stuff happens in the UK. Remember, if someone burned a flag, if a Muslim burned a flag in the UK, it would not be illegal. This person is simply, the British flag has become a protest flag in the UK.
It's like the police are trying to kettle or something. I don't know what they're doing.
Pushing the patriots
They're
back.
trying to push people. The more police are coming up here, so I can't capture everything.
Get that girl. Get her.
But it looks like the police are trying to cause a scene. Look at that. Look what they're doing. Look what the police are doing. What are they doing?
Yeah, get that flag down.
What are the police doing here?
We're going to arrest her. Get the zip ties on her. Good job. Throw her in the prison cell.
What are they doing? Just for the public guys. Have a look at this.
Yeah, she's resisting.
Look at the police behavior.
She supports the crown in Britain more than any of these political government. Keir Starmer. She's a patriot.
What are they doing to this lady? Yeah, if anyone's seeing this, get it clipped out. Get this
Yeah. Is anyone seeing this? Keep running your camera, guys, because your people will do nothing. This is why, thank God, we broke away from that country and we stole this country, USA, from the Brits. That would be us, guys. That would be where we're at with free speech. And I, unlike some people, I hold free speech. That is the creed. That is your right to believe whatever you want. I hold it pretty high and higher than all of Europe holds it. Sorry, guys, you're jailing people for their free speech. It's nuts. Here's the Daily Mail on the state of Europe. The Daily Mail about Germany. Outrage in Germany after Afghan migrant who was arrested for R-ing an 11-year-old girl was released after 12 days, then R'd, sexually assaulted another girl who's 13. This is what Trump stopped with illegals here. Compare him to Germany, UK, with free speech, respect for the flag, protecting our women. And you're going to complain saying he's doing nothing? Sorry, guys. He did everything. I hope I made my case. Shout out to the Happy Patriots. I'd love to hear from all you in the chat below. If anything else, to drown out the people that say nothing happens, I want to hear y'all tell me about what you're happiest with, what Trump did that you know wouldn't have been done under Kamala Harris. That's a good discipline and an act of thankfulness for what he did. I'm Doug, In Exile. Subscribe.